Jovona, would you introduce yourself, please, ma'am?
Hi, my name is, as she stated, Jovona Cameron, and I am glad to be here today and to be able to speak to you guys today.
So, Jovona, tell us what you're doing with your um, career. What are you doing career-wise right now?
Well, first, just to even let you guys know, um, I have a BA in political science. I'm a professional, but I'm gonna go through my education just so you'll know how my career correlates. So I have a BA in political science and French. I also am a certified paralegal, and I am also a certified revenue cycle specialist. I have a master's of business administration with healthcare management attached to it, as well as I am working or almost finished, pretty much finished with my doctorate of philosophy, my PhD in business with a focus on healthcare administration. I'm in dissertation, so I'm finished pretty much. But I work at the largest hospital in the Southeast, which is Atrium Health, and I am the manager of the hospital business office, billing manager, and the billing audit manager. I manage over 300 facilities, and this is medical billing, like medical claims and coders and billers and things like that. And this is also corporate finance. So this is on the corporate side. This is the be all end all pretty much, as far as in their part of their revenue cycle. So that is what I do.
Y'all, she said a mouthful. That's beautiful. Great, great. So, in high school, did you know what you wanted to do?
In high school, I knew I did and didn't. So I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. So, and I've said this, you've heard me say this story, my aunt was just like, why do you keep wanting to be a doctor? And I said, well, I want those letters beside my name. I said, I want somebody to call me doctor.
Yes.
And I was like, even if it's an aesthetic type of thing, just for looks, I, I want it because that means that I went ahead and I did a whole lot to get to that point.
Yes.
And but I originally wanted to be a lawyer, middle school biochemist, high school a lawyer. Um, Went to school political science, French. That's along the lawyer line. I was going to be an international lawyer, and realized that that wasn't the path that I wanted to go because I wanted more time for family life.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lawyer didn't have as much time for family life. And I am a person that's based on truth. I didn't want to have to represent anyone that was lying to me. My morals on certain things got in the way. So I knew I probably wouldn't end up being, as good of a lawyer as I possibly could have been.
Yeah.
And so my dad worked at the hospital, and I got out and ended up working at the hospital. He was like, come over here. And I went over there and figured my path out from there.
Well, that's good. First of all, we're glad you're not one of those lawyers.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the profession that you're in, and I commend you on that because you actually wanted to do the right thing, which means you have
Mhm.
morals. So, yeah, that's absolutely great that your dad and did you say your mom or your aunt? Which one?
Yeah, my dad works at the hospital. He's been there for 41 years. He
Uh-huh.
started in high school as a cook,
Yes.
and they basically helped him go back to school and things like that. And he's done data. He's basically a data analyst, but he's the manager over the entire distribution center for the Atrium Health.
Yeah. Well,
So,
congratulations to him, and then he pulled you right in, right?
yep,
Yeah.
and my aunt's been there in radiology probably for about 30 years. My grandmother was there 52 years, was one of the first black nurses. Started at Mercy Hospital when it was under the nuns. And Atrium owns Mercy. And she was one of the first black nurses that had a write up on her, everything.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yep.
Well, I know your grandma, so please tell her I said congratulations. I didn't hear part. Yes. I'm so excited. Everything that you're saying is just exciting. Um, you know that we're dealing with, 15 through 17-year-old females.
Hmm.
We're getting them, or we're trying our best to get
Yes.
the etiquette part re-implemented in the corporate world. So just parents listening to you, corporate, other corporate sponsors, or anyone in the corporate world that listens to our podcast and they're getting a chance to listen to what you're saying. These are things that we want them to pick up on, right?
Right.
So you're doing an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you intern in high school at all?
I did. I did a radiology intern. Um, I don't know what was telling me to be a radiologist. And I don't think that it was that I wanted to be a radiologist. I think it was that I wanted to do help people because that's my main thing. So I think it was just I needed to find out what was my niche to help people.
Yeah,
Everybody can help people in different ways.
yeah.
And so I did a radiology internship, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to go to the business side of things. I was like, I'm not gonna do well with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I interned in high school.
Well, good. So you have the intern experience um, way back in high school. Do you think that that helped you to get to kind of, where you are right now?
Yes, because with an internship, even if I didn't do that career, it let me know what I didn't want to do.
Right.
And it helped me put me on the path of making a more decisive decision about what I needed to do. So, and either way you go, that intern, that is still being a radiologist still requires schooling. So it let me know, okay, bam, I need to do this. Bam, 4 years of this, and I can get to this.
Yeah.
So it still helps. It's a process. It still helps.
Good. That's what we're looking for. People who have intern, and you're right. It lets you know I want to do this because I'm interested in it. First of all, or um, what I'm not interested in it. We know that, but I'm really good at this,
Right.
or I'm really bad at that.
Right.
I don't want to go that way. So
And I just remembered I even interned at the Omni Hotel downtown as a head chef.
yeah, did you really?
I did.
So you can cook too, huh?
And what I remembered the most out of that was the big steaks. And I just thought, oh, that's a good steak.
I'm coming to your house to eat. Okay, so why did you pursue the PhD?
My main reason was because, of course, I wanted to do it. Of course, for my father, my parents, to, give them something to be very proud of me about. But on the business side of things, I've said this before to many people. A bachelor's degree means you can start something and finish it. A master's means you can specialize, and that doctorate means they can trust you to do almost anything. And at the end of the day, nowadays, a bachelor's degree can almost be looked at like a high school diploma because so many people have them.
Right.
And so I needed to stand out. And so I stood out by getting my master's. And I also needed to stand out because I'm a woman and I'm a woman of color. And so I needed something to put me above everybody else. And then when I noticed that everyone was getting masters, I was like, you know what, because online technology came and all of that, because, that wasn't there when I was in school like that.
Right.
So I was like, oh, let me get my master's, let me get my doctorate now, because everybody has that. And then just to get to where I want to get to, I don't want you to have any other reason to tell me no.
Exactly.
So I had all of the experience, and then I ended up getting all of the education. So that way, if you tell me no, you're going to have to provide me with a very good reason why.
Because you have done it, right?
Right. So you got to tell me why you're telling me no, so I can fix whatever that reason is.
Yes, but that's a good attitude to have, right?
Yeah. You got to. The biggest thing a person can ever tell you is no. And from it, you take the constructive criticism and you do what you need to do to fix it.
Right. Because you're fixing you.
Right. You're right.
You're not just worrying about what they say.
No, you're fixing you. It's sometimes being told no provides a self-realization of yourself. It makes you look deeply inside to say, is this something I can fix about me? Or is this something that just didn't work for that person? And
Yeah,
so,
I like that. That makes sense to me.
yeah.
I
So
like
it
that.
make you take a step back and be like, oh, okay, you know what? I could do a little bit better with that. I could.
I could apply myself a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can go that extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's really worth it. I'm worth it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Javon, I'm gonna be using that now. I think I am. I like the way that you think. I like the way that you I really do. I like the way that you think because um it has gotten you to this point. And you're not done yet. We know that
Uh-uh.
you're at this point right now.
Yeah.
So the sky's pretty much the limit for you, right?
Right.
I also like how you said bachelors are common,
Mm-hmm.
high school diploma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because education is being pushed so much. But to get a master's degree means, okay, I'm going to put in a little bit more effort so I can stand out a little bit more. But to go
Mm-hmm.
for that PhD, it's like now you see me.
Yeah.
Like I'm here.
Right.
You can't miss me because I have put all of this in.
Right. And this PhD is nothing comparable to other, like your master's is very comparable to your bachelor's. It's just more work.
Yeah,
It's just more time, but it's the same. It's almost generally the same work ethics with it and stuff. Trying to do it. The doctorate and PhD is nowhere near similar. This is a dedication of at least 30 hours a week um, towards work, whereas a master's is a dedication for under 10 hours. This is a dedication of at least 30, probably at least 20 to 30 hours a week.
wow, wow. And
Mm-hmm.
you've got a family. I mean, you've got a family.
Mm-hmm.
You were working full time. You are still working full time.
Yeah, I
You
work full
were
time.
working full time while you went to school.
Yep. I worked full time, had a
69.
family, got married, even have worked 2 jobs before, or whatever it is I'm trying to build for. You know, I have all of that. And even when I finish it, I'm going to have 2 jobs because I plan on teaching. I plan on being a professor for the evening and working this job during the day.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So I'm planning on being a professor and build on my retirement and some future goals that I have with that job.
that's fantastic because you're
Yeah.
seeing the people. You're
Yeah.
building
So,
a future for your children, for your family.
right.
Yeah,
I'm trying to build for them. Um, you know, I don't believe in releasing children from the home extremely early because we don't really come into our no until 30 or a little bit before, or sometimes earlier. But I'm breaking that trend of what some families do, and my kids are allowed to stay here, and we're going to help them get on their feet to have the right path, the same path.
absolutely. Now that I really do like.
Mm-hmm.
Most kids or most parents even think when you're 18,
It's time to go.
it's time to go.
Not ready.
Hey, college, army.
We made it through, my husband and I, but I still think if I would have been, maybe stayed at home a little longer or something, my path could have been easier, um, and less stress. But most definitely, I think that guidance needs to be there from the ages of like what you're doing, 15 up to like 25, 27, even if 30,
You're
so
right.
that you can really help guide.
Yes.
So,
And parental guidance is a very necessary thing. And if it's not a parent, it's a guardian.
yep.
If and then you remember the village,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not parents, guardians. You got aunts, uncles, um, close friends of the family, even close friends to you. But then you have programs like ours that are out there that really want to see you succeed. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're here for. And this is one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on here, Miss Jovona, because you have done it. You really have. And I know that you started from an early.
Everything. I just knew I was going to do that. I even went and took my teacher to my parents and said, I just wanted you to know I'm going to be a biochemist and a doctor.
Wow.
I told her that. And it may have even started earlier in elementary school because I had a teacher that I loved dearly, fourth and fifth grade. And I felt like she was such an influence on my life. An older Caucasian lady, such an influence on my life. When I finished my master's and went on more to pursue this doctorate, I looked her up and found her number and I called her and I told her how much I appreciated her
Wow.
providing me with the foundation in the fourth and fifth grade.
Yes. Oh, I know she was just so
She
excited.
was. She was
Remember me?
so ecstatic. She remembered me and everything.
That is wonderful. I mean, that's a great feeling. From well, at least from her part, I know it has to be.
And I wouldn't be this way if my dad didn't always push me. You know, my dad was always my mom was an educator. So, but my dad was always back there and he was just like, look, I want you to have more than what I had
Yes.
at your ages.
Yes.
He's like, I want you to do better than me. I want you to do well. I want you to show that you can do this.
Yes.
And so I always just stuck to doing, finishing things, starting them and finishing them.
Making daddy proud. Huh?
Yep, always have. And that's just, I just stuck to it. He just always, and I guess because, you know, my parents, I had teenage parents, so I saw their growth. You know, I saw them go from being young, you know, teenagers, really trying to find their way, being parents and married. They were married, and then finding their way and becoming successful. So I saw that it took hard work and steps. It doesn't come overnight.
Yes.
And to get to where it needs to get to.
And look what they produced.
Yeah.
Yes. I know they're proud. I know they are. Because
Yeah.
speaking with you just gives me chills. And I've told you before, it just gives me chills to see how much you've done in a short amount of time because of your dedication, your upbringing, your mindset, what you want for you and what you want for your children. Yeah, extremely proud of you. I can't say it enough, so you'll hear it again. So, uh, I know we've talked about a lot of things here. So you do think the PhD is relevant in your professional career path, of course. What do you think about company culture and
So,
how it applies to business etiquette?
so your business etiquette is based off of what the company culture is. The two play hand in hand. If you present a standard at your company, that's that a good expectation of really good ethics and really good etiquette and things like that, then the rest of the company will be that same way. Everyone will follow suit. So whatever that culture is that you present is what you will get out of it. If you don't present that it's a requirement to have good etiquette, then your staff is not going to be that way.
Right.
So there, you in order to get that to be, your leaders need to, and it starts top down. Leaders have to do things, follow it in order to have your staff follow it.
Exactly.
So there's a difference between leading and managing. You can do both, but to properly lead, you have to do the same thing.
Exactly. Or more.
Or more. Yeah, more.
Yes. Exactly. And that sounds good. I love the way that you said it's top down. So it starts from the CEO, owner of the company, and how he acts or she acts.
Mm-hmm.
And then that should be implemented from them, right?
Right.
So
Right.
so let's do bottom up. Let's say we do that. Bottom up is the employees and then their manager or their supervisor, team lead, or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you got a set of employees here that are exemplifying business etiquette, but their manager is not, that would make them revert back to
Bad ways.
that, right?
Or
So
feel as though they're not valued at a company because you can't even act right. You don't value me.
right. I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't value me. You don't value my work. That will create turnover. Everything. You don't value me.
You're right.
And so,
I totally agree with that. So not only are like the fit our age group that we do want to eventually have interning, we don't want them to go in with a group of, of managers or a company or something that does not value business.
mm-hmm,
But let's say they do go in with these business etiquette skills. Imagine how much they're going to stand out, right?
right.
Now, of course, on this side, you don't see my worth, but on this side, I know what I'm worth. And if there's anyone in this company that really knows anything about business etiquette, it's going to make them stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and pull you from this position that you're in and
And
put
bring you up.
you a little bit higher. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. That's right. Yeah. You with me, huh?
That's true. It's right.
You're right.
And I love to see, I being a manager, I love to see when I have a group full of 15 apples and I got one peach that stands out.
Yes.
So I will take that peach and grow that peach, or take that grape, that raisin and grow it into a grape, or what I'm saying? Like I will blossom that fruit and make sure that they really get away paid. I would take them under my arms as a mentor and just really help them.
That's good to be a mentor for somebody. It doesn't have to be just the age group that we're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
but it is for someone who wants to do better.
Yep.
So they can be older and they're just blossoming or they're just getting this opportunity. However, they know I want to be a little bit further than what I am. And for someone like you, with all the wonderful things you've done, to take them up under their wing, up under your wing, and show them the proper way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
This is what helped me when I was in your position. Uh, not even, it's not about who you know. We know that's a thing now.
Yeah,
No,
that's the thing.
that is a thing, but it's a lot of
But you can get
what
past some of these things
you can with what you know.
with what you know. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So our conversation is a little bit different than it was before,
Yeah.
and a little bit deeper, a little better. Yeah, I'm I'm, I'm very happy. So I have another question. So what do you look for when when someone's applying for a job? Are you looking for their skill set, their degree, or are you looking for business etiquette, or maybe a combination of all of those things?
I would say it's a combination, but because I'm a scholarly person, education stands out to me. I mean, even down to if you put your education at the end of your resume, I want to see it at the front, at the top,
Yeah.
because you want the things to stand out first that were really important to you. And so, I look at that and then I look at education too, because it lets me know that you wanted to go further and do more. And it lets me know that, oh, okay, I did something more than just high school. You didn't have to finish. I don't need any of that. You didn't have to finish, none of that. I just want to see that you tried to
Yes.
do something more with yourself. Um, and then I go into, and business etiquette is matters at all points in time. So that's even when you first walk in my door, I need a confident handshake, or I need a confident, strong hello. How are you? Because I'm going to give you hello, how are you? And so I need, and I know sometimes I can even be an intimidating interviewer because um, I have very high standards for things. My standards are the same regardless if I'm paying you $10 an hour versus paying you 25. So, my standards doesn't change based on the role or the company.
Yeah.
Um, and so, you need to have confidence and present yourself in that as such, dress in the appropriate manner. Um, you know, some of us get things confused. We might come in a church outfit. That's not business.
It's not.
That's not business.
No.
That's church.
That's right.
And yeah, it's church. So just your mannerisms.
Yes.
It's all of that. I need all of that. I pay so much attention to mannerisms.
Body
Because
language.
right, because the thing about an interview is it's all about how you present yourself that day. It's really not about truly what you know, because I don't know what you know until I hire you and put you into that role. You can tell me one thing, your paperwork says something else. Your paper, you look good, and I put you in that role and you're awful. So, it's all about how you present yourself. So
It's
it's
package.
selling yourself.
Yes.
It's a package.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
So,
selling you.
and like I told someone recently the other day, I don't even hardly call and check references, because at the end of the day, your references, 90% of them are your friends or somebody that's going to tell me something good anyways. And the biggest thing, because you're not going to put anybody down that's going to talk bad. And
Right.
the biggest thing a job can tell you anyways is if you're rehireable. They're not allowed to sit up here and go into detail about every single thing about what you did at work. So sometimes I don't even call references because I base everything off of how you interviewed with me. And that is even on the phone, because I do a phone interview first. That determines if I even let you come into. And I'm going to ask questions anyway, based off of your resume, I will set you up to see if you can tell me the truth or lie about something. So I pretty much can dig into it based off my field. I can dig into it and know if you're telling the truth or not. So, I might ask you about something in a system you told me that you knew, and I know that system. And so I can determine. I don't even have to call anyone. So
I like that.
yeah, so everything for me is based off how you come in and what your style, your business style is,
Yes.
your professional style is.
Yes.
I always recommend the STAR method for people. You should have a method of something where I can tell that you researched, um, even research about the company,
Yes.
everything. I might even bring up a fact about the company just so I can see something that's bold, clear on the website, that's right there that I know. If you researched, you knew this answer. If you truly, truly looked at this job.
I say that all the time, Jovona.
Yep.
The company is researching you. You're supposed to research the company.
Yeah.
Because when you walk into the interview, everything that you just listed off is business etiquette.
Yeah.
You're coming in, it's the way that you dress, it's your cleanliness, your
Yep.
timeliness,
Yep.
definitely that. Your resume, you should have that together. That's all part of it. The way that you speak, your tone, your body language, all of that is a part of it. But I also say research.
Mm-hmm.
When they give you that that 30-second block of, do you have any questions for us? It should be something pertaining to your company.
And your company.
Not what can you do for me?
Right. And like a big pet peeve of mine, how much you pay on this job? You should have researched the pay and all of that before you even came into this interview. Like,
Yes.
that lets me know all you concerned about is the money.
Now, did you know it was such a thing as we say it all the time because most of us just want the job. It's like we don't know our worth, or we know what we think we're worth, right? But
Right.
get in front of someone who's interviewing you for a position, you automatically say, yes, I'll accept the amount that you have here, or it's negotiable.
Yeah.
But then you don't negotiate.
Right.
So you have your PhD and you go into go in for a manager's position. The first thing you're supposed to do is, well, of course, like we just said, know how much that job pays. But you know your worth. You tell me,
expectations.
you tell me, or I tell you, this is not enough.
I negotiated for the job I have now. Well, not this one. When I was a supervisor, I used to be the supervisor too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a manager then. I was a supervisor there, and then I got made a manager. I just got promoted. I got moved into a manager role. I was a supervisor, and I negotiated with that job as well.
Okay.
And I told them they were trying. I believe it was like 3,000 less than what, 4,000 less than what I asked for. And I advised to them. I stated what I needed. This needs to be negotiated. Is there room for negotiation? Because I stated what I needed, and I got everything except for maybe $200 of what I asked for.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, I can work with that,
Yeah.
because I added in raises and all of that. So I knew I would be well over what I was asking for anyways, within, a certain time frame. But
Yes.
I made sure I negotiated because I knew my worth, and I knew that I had sat back long enough for some years not negotiating.
Yes.
Just to get that experience and just to get stuff under my belt.
Just to have a job.
Yeah. Just to have a job. But I knew that I had the ability to get what I asked for. So.
And now we know that everybody can't do this, right?
Right.
Everybody can't go in and say, I expect this.
Right.
Or let's negotiate. Because if you negotiate, you could go down.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have the experience or whatever it is that they're looking for.
You got to have that background to back up what you're trying to get.
That's right. So I'm not saying that, guys, I'm not saying that everybody needs to negotiate, but I think if you've got the qualifications, if you know your worth, then yeah, that is a thing.
And even if you know how much you're worth to negotiate for, like, maybe you might think you're worth, 50,000. All right, maybe, okay, let me change that. You might think you're worth $20, but you got, say, 18, but you don't have $20 background. Ask for 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like 25 cents or 50 cents, bring it down.
And then there's another thing that you can do too. If it's not the monetary part that they give you, there are a lot of companies that would let you go back to school.
Yep.
Get your certificates.
Yep.
They will pay for you to go back to school. There are certain things that you can do.
We do the same thing. We'll be like, hey,
yeah,
you go get certified coder.
I know we've gone a little bit, deep. We've gone a little bit deep, but these are things that are, they're necessary.
They're pertinent. If nobody ever tells you, then you don't know.
You don't know. Yep. So somebody's listening to this, and they're going to pick up on some of what we've said that we went over the limit on. That's fine, as long as somebody gets something out of what we're talking about, right?
Right.
So, did you have any questions for us as Dubai's daughter?
Not necessarily questions, but words, yes. If you have someone willing to provide you with other guidance, even if it's not your parents, and you have someone such as this organization that's willing to assist, take advantage of it as much as possible. Sometimes, younger generations, especially now, find themselves not wanting to take guidance from people. And then when you get older, you will realize how much you should have. And so at this point in your life, take a stand for yourself now. Make a mature decision now. And some things you don't have to wait till you fall flat on your face to figure out. Learn and take the guidance now and take it and run with it. Because receiving mentoring and things like this is golden. There are plenty of children that do not get this at all.
Yes.
And sometimes when children hear things from someone else, it makes them react totally different.
Yes.
You might be one way with your parents. Let's say something else, you're okay with it. So
yeah. Or it could be that your parents have said this and it went in one ear out the other.
Out the other. Yeah. If somebody else say it, it's a sponge, because kids are like sponges anyway.
Yeah.
So it just soak it up.
Yeah.
So,
I do have one last question. When you're dealing with people via email.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
I already kind of got a feeling of where you're going with that. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is me, I'm Jovona and Lady J, this is me, and I'm gonna tell you something here. So there is a such thing as, and not just you, but I'm speaking to the young ladies, there's such thing as multi-generational cohort. And that is pretty much having all of the different generations, whether that be millennials, X, the baby boomers and all of that. And each generation communicates differently. So since the uprising of social media here and a lot of the texting and stuff like that, it has made our society really lose touch with proper grammar and business etiquette in writing and wording. And so sometimes it is so challenging to speak with younger generations or even, yeah, mostly younger generations, because their vernacular is to speak in text talk and things like that, BRB and TTYL. When you're in a professional setting, remember that that is where you are. Always speak properly with these emails. Always know email tone. It's not okay to send all capital letters and beautiful colors and all of this. As much as you might love that colorful email, it makes you lose focus of the email and you get distracted from what you wanted me to look at to even begin with. I lose focus.
Yeah.
So that is something that is so critical right now that we speak about at my job all the time because we find it so critical to understanding the communication. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. Govern yourself to how to properly send memos. You can look at things like that because we don't really send memos anymore, but that is the structure that's needed. And there's templates on it, business templates on it. There's plenty of business communication education tools to help you on how to speak. Grammarly, it's a lot of different things.
Yeah. That was I could not let you get off of here without hitting that point, Jovona, because I know it's like a pet peeve for you, and it is this I'm not talking about the younger generation because they don't know.
They don't know, yeah.
And then you remember, there are things that you don't know that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they don't even teach cursive in schools anymore and stuff. So it's just a lot that they don't know because it hasn't been put out there like it was with us.
Yeah.
So, but it is almost made now to where it's an assumption that things like this doesn't matter anymore. But once you get in the adult world and really start working in these environments, you realize how much it matters.
Yes. Take a look at our website, it's advisedaughter.org. We are, please follow us actually on the podcast. So it's Advised Daughter. Hit the follow, and then you can always keep up with what we're doing. Miss Jovona, you have been an absolute pleasure. You're a businesswoman. Well, you are. You're a businesswoman. And it's just my absolute pleasure to have you on here and to speak on a lot of different things to help the younger generation. So thank you again, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully, yes. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks again.